Hey everyone, Meinke here from MLive&apos, joined by Justin Rogers. Weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of work. Justin is finally in the books. We've got to see the NFL draft, got to see the first round. There were a few surprises, a few trades. We saw Laremy tumble into the region of the Lions pick, which was kind of entertaining there for a second. Lions on the clock at 16, get Taylor Decker, offensive tackle from Ohio State. One of the guys that we had talked about quite a bit as an option for the Lions. What'd you make of the pick?
I missed every pick after Taylor Decker, but those first 15 were really exciting. And Taylor Decker, kind of boring. I mean, I don't think that's wrong. You know, it's clearly, I believe right tackle was unquestionably this team's biggest need. Offensive tackle, however you want to look at it, with Riley Reef. And Decker's a fit. You know, is it a sexy pick? Nope. Does he have a great high ceiling? Nope. He is just a solid all-around player that is a massive upgrade at the biggest hole in the roster, and I can't fault Bob Quinn for going that direction.
Yeah, no, I like the pick, and it was a wild first round with trades and all this stuff happening. It comes up with the Lions, and Lions did have Bob Quinn did say he was fielding some calls of interest in that pick, but at the end of the day, he just didn't play games. He took the best player available at the biggest position of need for the Lions, and he took him, and this team is better for it. He was a little evasive on where exactly Decker's stacked up on the team's board in terms of offensive linemen, also in terms of the board.
He was the best player available.
But he was
the best. Believe that
he was the best player available. Well, he was the way Quinn put it was he's the best. He was the player who's going to make the Lions better at that position, and he took him. And you can't listen. I mean, you think back to the Ebron pick and some of those things. Like maybe you thought yourself into a box on some things in the past. And what I liked about this pick was that it was simple. It was a position of need. It was the best player at that need. It wasn't a reach, and you're better for it.
Yeah, I asked him, what did he like about Decker, maybe compared to the guys drafted that position earlier, and he said, I like the fact that he's well-rounded. Decker's a fairly polished run blocker, and that's an area obviously the Lions want to get better. And listen, right tackle's not your biggest need in the run game, but it doesn't matter. And the Lions like to run to that right side already with Larry Warford, so it's a good fit over there. Pass protection, I think Quinn likes him better than a lot of analysts out there. It's kind of hard to get a read on Decker's pass blocking just because of the way Ohio State used him in their offensive scheme. To say that he can't do the things that are required from him in the NFL is, it's a leap. That's what you lead your scouts, and working him out and to see if he can do the proper movements. I get the pick. I think you move down, you still could have got offensive tackle, but Decker was probably the best one at that spot, and you run with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't pencil him in at right tackle per se yet. I do think that's where
I am. I'm already doing it.
Just use a real light pencil. But Quinn was non-committal when it came to his position, just saying we're getting in here, we'll see what shakes out. So I thought that was interesting. It doesn't surprise me that he said that, but it is kind of interesting. They're not committing yet to Reef playing left tackle. They're not committing to Decker playing right tackle. I think at the end of the day, that's probably what we'll see happen. But for now, there's some uncertainty there going into rookie minicamp next week. But you were last in the league last year in rushing. Your Stafford's been knocked around more than all but three quarterbacks the past couple of years. I believe 89 sacks
Correct.
The past 2 years,
Yep.
which is just an incredible amount.
He's right tackle. He's about a quarter of those too.
Well, it's been a revolving door, so that doesn't surprise me. I mean, Michael Ola was fine, but nothing more than that. And the guys that were there at that position last year, Waddle and Lucas, it was a wreck. There was no consistency. Now, what Decker gives you is some consistency to build around going forward, and I like the pick a lot for the Lions.
He was a left tackle in college his last 2 years. He has been very clear that is his preference to continue to play left tackle, but he also said in the conference call when we talked to him today that he wants to play where he can contribute. That's a very common line for young players to say, and I believe him in that. I mean, rather be on the field than the bench. So if right tackle is where the team says you're going to play, well, that's where you're going to play. We have to talk about Laremy Tunsil, though. I mean, You mentioned him. He dropped. Let's just play the hypothetical game, either A, trading up to get him at that spot, or B, if he had fallen to 16, given all the stuff that was coming out during the draft, would you have drafted Laremy Tunsil as Bob Quinn?
100%. He was the I mean he was the first he was maybe the best player in this draft. At one point before those trades, he was being projected as the number one pick in this draft. And then when even the quarterback trades went down at 1 and 2, I mean he's in like that 5 to 8 range. And then the bong photo drops, and I'm okay. I was saying that because Hugh Freeze actually went on ESPN and said it was a real photo. So it's not even conjecture; it's a real photo. He's smoking whatever he's smoking out of a gas mask. It looks bad.
That's why he smokes. I just don't know.
I don't know. I'm not up on what the kids are doing these days, but apparently that's what they do. But it looks bad. The optics are really bad. But at the end of the day, at 16, you can get maybe the best player in this draft at the biggest position of need for you. I would absolutely do it, because if you want to walk around that Lions locker room right now, 90% of those guys, 80% of those guys, 80% of those guys, somewhere well more than 50% of those guys already smoke weed. So I mean, maybe seeing it makes it look worse or something, but I don't think it's on the greatest sins list for Bob Quinn. He even said as much. He said Quinn actually joked as he was leaving the press conference today, saying that if we took every guy who smoked weed off our draft board, we wouldn't have a draft board. There weren't many guys left to take.
Basically, Don Milbeck's clean, everybody else dirty in Kyle's mind. But with Tunzel, I do agree with you. I look at the red flags, if you will. Pot smoking is not something I'm going to cross a guy off the list for.
Yeah.
Taking money in college is not something I'm going to take a guy off the list for. Dumb.
Yeah,
I mean,
put it all together and it's not
to have
pretty,
no
but
social media presence, or to not recognize that teams are looking at that. And I know they're saying hacked or whatever, but just to have it video recorded, it strikes me as an immature, dumb decision. I did a lot of stupid stuff in college. Kyle. Probably did some stupid stuff in college.
I think the good Lord there was no Twitter when I was in high school. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, just some of the dumb stuff. I put out dumb stuff now. I can't imagine 10 years ago. But, just the self-awareness of the guy is a concern. But the talent is there. I know this town feels burned by guys like Charles Rogers. They see Josh Gordon, who can't control his pot usage and drinking, but most players do control it. They get tested once a year as long as they're not in the program, and you know how to work around that. All the players do. Probably at some point, marijuana is going to be accepted at some level in the NFL.
Yeah, that's the momentum. That's maybe a topic for a different day, but yeah, I don't think that's too far away.
Tangents. It's late. It's midnight, I think.
It's 10 till.
Yeah.
And we still got writing to do. So on that note, round one's in the books. Taylor Decker is a Detroit Lion. Lions are better on the offensive line. Big need. Going to day 2, we'll be looking at defensive line, I think, as well as safety, cornerback, possibly. A lot of needs to address on that side of the ball. Lions are on the clock at 46th?
46. He's going to get it eventually.
Yeah, one of these days. For Justin Rogers, I'm Kyle Meinke. We are MLive. Keep it here.